Welcome to Bourbon and Badgers, the podcast, live in Studio 77 from Gastonia, North Carolina, and Calabash, the voice of the uncommon people.
I don't know if I can hear you talking about your microphone or not, but Hound likes his microphone.
I like my microphone.
And he's got it front and center, too. You can't hardly see but have his face because he's so proud of that microphone.
You know how much I pay for this sucker, man. You put it front and center, too.
Hell yeah. It
Oh,
needs to be on
podcasting is
camera.
not cheap. That's why I always talk about that donation button, man. Hit that donation button. We need, people think we're begging for liquor money. We're not. We need to, it's hard to produce these things.
That's why I got mine cut like this right here, so you can. I'm getting royalties
damn,
off that
Rod.
son of a bitch
Oh,
right
yes, sir.
there.
How's that?
Hey, guess what? Look to my, I think maybe you're right, my left.
Jerry's
Jerry's
back.
He hung
He
around for,
left. He never left. Come on,
No.
be honest.
I took his keys, man. Hit his
Slow
keys.
locked
He
the door
can't-
so he
Locked
couldn't
me
get
in the
out.
shed.
He's been on Shootout Mountain for a week,
Yes, sir.
handcuffed to a radiator, being fed food with a slingshot.
That's right.
Oh, man.
No, go ahead. I was back in the cop days. Stop
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Let's don't
No,
talk about
That
that.
sounds like college days to me, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no statute of limitation on felonies, are there?
Not in North
Oh, yeah.
Carolina.
All right, this is part two. This is part two of, of course, last week we had Jerry here talking about he's a cryptozoologist.
You about said it. You about
Well,
said it.
Bigfoot
information on Bigfoot.
aficionado.
I'm
Bigfoot
an amateur
aficionado.
cryptozoologist.
Did I say it right? Did I not say it right?
Well, you started to say the other
You
word,
said, I don't
but
know.
you
But
corrected
I added
yourself.
amateur.
I don't know what the amateur thing. I think maybe
No, I think you're
the
pretty
three of
much
us
a
amateurs. You
professional.
bring a lot to this.
You know,
Yeah, and,
I watch a
yeah, and you're
lot.
pretty brave too to come on this show because we're talking about between podcasts, your credibility may go down the tank after
Well,
this.
that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't
Leave
using
the-
it anyway.
Leave this off your resume.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so part
But
two,
we'll put
we
it on
left
ours.
off, guys, talking about we switched to we switched gears a little bit. I think Rodnator said, "Okay, what about this alien theory?"
The alien, or no, what I was asking was, in my mind, so Bigfoot is so elusive, right? People have sightings. He comes, he goes. He's 7, 8 feet tall, 4, 5, 600 pounds. But there's constant sightings, but never, he's always elusive with all. And I think Slow was mentioning, or Hound Dog, about the technology we have today. How come we can't lock this sucker down and get one, in our hands? And then I transition into, that's why some people might think it's alien type stuff where he's on this planet, then he ain't on the planet, that type of thing, comes and goes, beams down, whatever you want to say. And I just didn't know if you had any thoughts about that, or in your travels with other people who study
one
this
thing
type
I like
of
to
thing.
add, if I may, and I understand your questions, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but just along this Bigfoot thing, and I know there's a big difference between crawfish and Bigfoot on size, but this past year they found two new crawfish specimens only in the North Carolina mountains. It's the only place they live, and they found them for the first time in since the creation of Earth. They found these two new species.
No doubt.
So-
No, and we've talked about how deep the ocean is and how they always find a new type of marine life down there. The deeper they go, it's just a lot of uncharted stuff. But since Bigfoot's on the planet, walking upright in these woods, why can't we see him? And that's why the connection to the aliens always comes up, or at least I've heard it. Is Bigfoot an alien?
Well, let me ask you this, Rod. If I may, let me ask you this on top of that.
Go ahead.
Okay, how many bobcats or coyotes have you seen?
I've seen in Gastonia here. Actually,
Well,
I've seen one coyote. One coyote.
Just in general. And my point being is,
Yeah.
I've been on Shootout Mountain. I've seen, and I keep saying these 14 bears. I've seen the wild hiking and camping stuff, but I live in a Shootout Mountain, and some of my neighbors have seen there have been 14 sightings. I haven't seen one, but that doesn't mean
Right.
they're not out there. Doesn't mean they're not
Right.
real.
They're elusive. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're just elusive.
Okay,
If you
so-
got this creature, the only way you see a bear generally is if you surprise it. Because if it hears you coming, you're not going to see it. It's gone. So if these big animals, these Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you will, I'm saying, they probably, because deer can smell us. Evidently, us as humans, we stink. So you assuming they probably smell us as well. If they don't want to be seen, I'm just saying probably not going to be seen. How many bear you think that I pass a night coming, to and from home? There's plethora of deer. Earlier, there's deer just right outside the house here.
Well, they
But,
smell your old. They smell your old spice.
Oh yeah, inherited from dad. But my whole point is, I probably pass 100 deer a night that I just don't see.
Right. No, I understand. Yep.
Well, see, I got, like what we've talked about on previous podcasts, I have a trail cam in my backyard, and I get videos of bobcat, deer, coyotes damn near nightly out there because I got a large wooded area behind my house. And, so they're out there, and I have seen it. I hadn't seen them actually, in person. I've seen it on my trail cam.
Yeah.
So, and I have yet to see a Bigfoot, a goony goo goo, or whatever the hell you want to call them, on my trail cams.
And along the same lines, I know we're kind of getting sidetracked here. Trail cam out when I had the camper on the other side of the mountain. I'd go out with these trail cams out in the middle of the woods, and I got a silhouette of a wild boar. I know it's wild boar because I tell by a silhouette that's probably what it is, but it's just a silhouette. Could have been something else, yes, but I'm assuming it's a wild boar. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah,
Well, we can go back to my damn question now about the damn aliens.
Yeah.
All right, Jerry.
Let me get sidetracked.
Anything on that?
Let me lay a quick foundation.
Okay.
There's generally speaking now 3 schools of thought. There's the flesh and blood animal school of thought. And then there's the school of thought that it's more of a spiritual being, perhaps flesh and blood, but highly advanced in a spiritual sense. And then now it's kind of new on the scene in terms of more of a widespread belief, and now there's the extraterrestrial origin. I tend to think flesh and blood creature, but I know people that believe the other two as well. Has any of you seen the Skinwalker Ranch series on TV?
Oh, here we go.
I am a card-carrying member.
He
of the
is a card. He
Skinwalker
actually
Ranch.
is a card carrying member. He
He
showed me the
literally-
card.
Literally
Yeah.
has a card.
Yeah.
Here's what turned the gears in my little pea brain. The former owner, previous to the current owner,
Bigelow.
Bigelow.
Yep.
When he established his research team out there was the report that 2 of the investigators were out doing surveillance, and there was a black dot that appeared not too far from him. I don't remember the distance, but that it got bigger and bigger and outstepped a hairy, upright, hominid type of creature, and that it came out of this black circle, whatever, a portal, whatever you want to call it, and it looked around and it turned and walked and it disappeared into the woods. I'm not saying I don't believe that. I'm not saying I do believe it. But the Skinwalker Ranch series has shaken up the whole cryptid field on this topic of aliens and could there be a connection. And now that's been there for a long time. You can go back to the 80s and see people that were pushing the alien theory.
Yeah.
But they were dismissed back then. They're not dismissed anymore.
And I tell you, telling a dear friend of mine here on the mountain, I actually helped him do some stuff in the woods behind his house. And I told him about the podcast is going to happen, and he's a firm believer that they're aliens. He is 100% firm believer that these are aliens. Their spaceship has crashed. They're stuck here, and they're being elusive. Hopefully someday they'll find the way home, kind of like a Lost in Space type thing, I guess. And he's a firm believer. You seen his face.
I can wrap my head around Bigfoot being an alien because there's, in my opinion, there's more life in the universe than what's on this planet, in my opinion. And, they had probably more technology than we do. They were probably light years advanced as far as technology goes. And I can see them like zipping around up there and like, for less, lack of better words, beam me down, Scotty. And then they get beamed down to the earth and do their thing and like evidently go look for women in a tent somewhere and and beam me back up. I can wrap my head around that more than I can just some kind of something that's been here for eons, and that's not.
Well, I gotta say
ever
this,
been
how
able to find
then how come all these backwoods been one tooth in their head? Well, I got beamed up and he probed my butt. I mean, why is it always that guy out in
Or
the
is it-
cornfield by himself?
Yeah, or it could be one. I got beamed up by Bigfoot, and he probed me in the butt. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it goes both
hey,
ways.
Hey, as hot as you are, Hound Dog, why you? Why not some of them things, them bikini bunnies you see on the beach every day? Why not one of them as opposed to Joe with a one tooth and a straw hat?
Hey, some people are attracted to the one tooth straw Joe, with the straw hat,
Yeah.
To each his own. Slow. Who are we to judge?
Slow. We don't judge you, brother.
Let aliens abduct who the hell they want to abduct, dude. If they're attracted to the fat toothless dude, then
all I can say is, if you're an
roll with
alien
it.
out there, call me.
I haven't had a date in a while.
Yeah, but y'all think it's kind of weird of me to be able to wrap my head around the alien Bigfoot thing than it is? Just to
Go
have
ahead. This is your scope. What do you
I
think?
think. I think before he starts, I think it's everybody's looking for an answer. So whatever path takes you to the most logical answer, I think is what you're gonna go with. So the alien thing is, and the reason I think also the alien thing may be more of a reasonable thing for most people is because, again, the government coming out and admitting all this lie and all this shit they've been doing for all these years about the UFOs. Now, whether they're alien, extraterrestrial, or they're human, who knows? But we can't explain some of the shit that's going on with this cubes going from taking 90-degree turns, or like I mentioned a few podcasts ago, the ones that go straight into the ocean without slowing down, and then they come straight out of the ocean without it. We have nothing that can do that. And these guys for years have been seeing them on their radar, and we're afraid. I just saw a show where they said that as far as UFOs go, these pilots who see these unidentified flying objects are told not to report it to their airline or to their to wherever. They have to report it to an unidentified site or something because the airline doesn't even want to know about it. Like they try to squelch it down, like out of mind, out of sight, or like what's that term that someone uses when if you don't know, plausible deniability type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the pilots now are coming out and saying, yeah, I saw this for years, but I was afraid to say anything because I'd be grounded or this or that. So now that all that's coming out, my point is now that all that's coming out, what else don't we know? Maybe this is already something they know, like a Bigfoot is an alien. I mean, I don't know, because all the shit they're lying about since the Roswell, when was Roswell? The 40s?
47.
47? Yeah. So I didn't mean to cut in, but that's why I think it's not hard.
Well, it is part of your show.
Yeah, well, but I'm saying it's not it's not hard to go with Hound Dog's train of thought with this,
right,
because of everything we've just talked about, plus all the stuff that's coming out about everything. They lie about everything's a lie. Everything's a lie.
One more thing that I'm sorry, Jerry. We asked you a question, then we won't stop.
It's all right.
Well, we
brother.
won't shut the hell up for
Yeah,
long
think
enough
about
to
it,
answer it.
Jerry. It's
But I'm
our show.
thinking.
That's right.
But I'm thinking.
The more we drink, the more we talk.
There's a guy that was in charge of the UAP thing for the Pentagon, Louis Alessandro, I think his name is, and he said, as far as like the Tic Tac videos, or like Rod described, going into the ocean, come back out of the ocean, he said if that is our adversaries, we're screwed.
Oh yeah, well they can advance to another world. I mean, we can't do that. We can go
flying
to
through
the
the
moon.
air and fly through the water.
Far beyond us.
Yeah, it would tear anything apart. Going into the ocean at that velocity from the air would tear anything we have apart. We have no technology that can do that.
Yep.
Meaning the United States. I'm not sure, if somebody else down here does, but I doubt it. So that would be something that would be alien-like, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think the jump to the Bigfoot thing being alien, it's just searching for a reasonable answer, and you can kind of make that case. That's all I'm saying.
Well, let's go to the expert here, Jerry. What's your thoughts
Jerry,
on
what
this?
do you think about it?
Take it away, Jerry.
Well, we make you stare for another hour and don't let you talk. Go ahead.
Well, I'm
No,
gonna
seriously,
take
go ahead, Jerry. We're waiting. Go ahead.
the totality of all of the years of reading and watching the documentaries, and then more recently in the past 10 years, my own experiences, but more importantly, the things that people have told me, I don't discount anything anymore.
Yeah.
And I know that we don't have the answers, and in absence of having the answers, you've got to consider all of the answers.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
love
not,
that
not, not much like policing, right, Hound Dog? You did detective work. You go where the evidence takes you, and if the evidence don't take you nowhere, then you stop until you have something further. You can have, you can have your own theories and so forth like that, and you could try to kind of piece things together, but you got to be led by the evidence. You can't lead the evidence because anybody, you know what I mean? Because then you taint what's true. Yeah.
Right.
So I agree. I mean, these are all questions that are still up in the air, but I'm just glad stuff's starting to come out because, who knows? The answers might already be known by the people in the damn government, and they're just not telling us. Who the hell knows?
I'm sure there a lot is because
there's a lot we
the
don't
common
know.
people, are too stupid, and we need to be protected for such things.
Of course, because we're not ready for this information. Right.
It's like
bullshit.
Well, it's like the Democrats. They think they know what's better for us, so it's best they make these decisions and
right
for us.
Right. Treat us like children. Exactly.
Yeah, just Jerry, jump in here anytime, brother. But I think we're comparing apple to oranges. I think there's aliens. I think that we've been visiting somebody else we possibly could be, but I certainly don't think it's Bigfoot. I think Bigfoot is just a native creature to Earth, and just touch back what we talked about earlier. Go ahead.
So you don't think there's a possibility that Bigfoot could possibly be an alien?
Well, there's always a possibility, but I would say no. I think
does he zip off his hairy suit and he's one of those bug-eyed green mother effers, that just
what was that, Men in Black? Men in Black. That's an excellent movie.
Yeah, the finger. Oh no. Riding in a bicycle. Yeah.
Well, that'd be a big bicycle. This guy's like 7-8 feet tall.
It'd be I'd have to be a big one.
I do have a question you touched on, Jerry, earlier about the spiritual part of Bigfoot. Now, I would think that the spiritual part of it was given to him through the Native Americans, because they have the wolf or something, the bear stands for something, and Sasquatch definitely stands for something, and a lot of their stuff is based on spiritual beliefs, and I think that is fed through or down to us regular Joes. What's your thoughts?
The roots of most of the people who has the spiritual theory as what they're going to go with, it actually connects back to the Old Testament in Genesis, where you read about the Nephilim. Have you heard of this? And there it says that the sons of God lay with the daughters of men, and some people say, well, they produced an unholy offspring. And they
now this is these angels you're talking about sleeping with the women?
Yes, angels, whether it be demonic angels, which demons are angels as much as regular angels are angels. They're just the bad guys. And so it says the sons of God lay with the daughters of men. And there's people that believe that it produced a horribly evil offspring that has perpetuated. It's part spiritual, part physical, and it's perpetuated from that time and unto now. There's actually a lady that I know that's absolutely terrified for me, and for her son is one of my associates, and she is terrified. Now,
for your safety.
Yes.
Okay.
But there's.
Well, I got us quiet, dude. That's a whole nother.
So what is that? Why is she terrified? What brings her to the point?
She believes they're demonic.
Terrified? Oh, she thinks the Bigfoot is demonic.
They're demonic.
Okay, all right. I hadn't heard that one, but okay.
But going back to the alien end of the theory, there's a lot that they're learning a little bit at a time, but it's accelerating now on this space-time continuum, portals, dimensions being able to overlap. And this isn't stuff that we read in comic books anymore. It's scientists talking about the possibility, with quantum mechanics, quantum physics and all of that. Whatever the fancy word is, I think I got it right. But anyway,
well, we wouldn't know.
And
so.
they're
You sound like you
slowly
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we don't know.
They're slowly
talking to second graders
producing more. They're building an argument that you can have an overlap in dimensions, which is what a lot of the scientists think is what's happening at Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
And that feeds back, Hound Dog, you talked about like the Gettysburg. So what people see these soldiers walking through the fields.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people believe that might be a time band width that's overlapping. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
And even more, to add on to that, when you start talking about that, then you have to acknowledge the existence of wormholes. So a species from another planet who knew how to access a dimensional overlap or a wormhole why couldn't they come here, and why couldn't they look? They're really big and they're hairy, and
Chewbacca.
they're really good at hiding.
Yeah.
Or they just come out, you see them, they go into the woods, and then boom, they hit one of them holes or something, or they can produce the hole. Thank you. They can produce the hole and disappear.
Yeah.
See, to me, that's very reasonable, even though I don't know if the technology's out there, but just like thinking about it to myself. Yeah. But that becomes more, I could wrap my head around that, as Hound Dog said about the alien thing. I could wrap my head around more of like they go into the woods and they have a way of going through a doorway and just being gone, because there's got to be something. If they're real, then they got to have some way of cloaking themselves or disappearing or staying elusive. That's just common sense. Even more so than a bear. You can track a bear. A bear eats somebody's ass up in a freaking campsite. They track that son of a bitch and they find him and they shoot him. That's not happening with this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all. I could get my head around that, Jerry, is what I'm saying. I don't know.
Well,
The bear will
the way
crap
you're
out
talking,
a finger or
Rod,
something.
the way you're talking, Rodnator, this is what I'm scared. I'm afraid what's going to happen to you.
Go ahead.
FBI, open up!
If you keep talking, I'm just saying.
I'm telling you. I agree.
They're going to cart you off.
But-
We'll have to find
Well,
another
they'll kick my door and go, "Hey, Captain Farley, how you doing?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Good. How you guys doing?"
You got a beer?
Been a while.
Yeah.
Do I really got to go? Oh, we just kidding.
Yeah, give me a beer. We'll be good.
Yeah, I got a bourbon cart. Come on.
But, you
Well,
know,
I could get my head around that. Go ahead.
Rodney, I agree with you 100% on that. On what you just said, I 100% agree with that.
Jerry, you shaking your head? Yes. You agree with these guys?
Well, I can't discount it.
I think you guys are going down a really, really big rabbit hole. That's what I'm thinking.
We love rabbit holes on this show, Slow.
Yeah,
you're
this whole freaking show's a rabbit hole, for God's sakes. Jesus
Was
Christ.
it rabbit hole?
So,
is that the name that we used to drink? Rabbit hole? We tried all 3 rabbit holes.
Yeah, we did try rabbit hole. Rabbit hole
Is it
bourbon
bourbon?
has a chocolate peanut butter taste.
Yeah.
It's good.
Well, if I could add a couple more cars on this train.
Oh, go
this
ahead,
locomotive.
Jerry. Act
Hook
like
'em
you're
up,
part of
Jerry.
this.
Aliens
up.
and portals. Are you guys familiar with the work of David Paulides?
That's right.
Missing 411.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
He
That's
is a
excellent.
retired cop,
Really?
Yeah, I
and
knew
he
that.
has investigated disappearances at national parks and other remote areas for many years. He's written 3 books. He's got 3 documentaries out. But the idea of somebody walking into the woods and they're just never seen again.
Yeah, that one about the hunters, man, that's scary.
And what's
That was
the
scary.
best explanation? A portal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to put words in his mouth. And he's a very smart man, and I look up to his work. And he's careful not to bring in Bigfoot, although in I think The Hunted, he introduced the topic some with introducing the world to the Sierra Sounds. But anyway, who knows?
And I got to admit, the Sierra Sounds that you brought it up were pretty daggone creepy.
Very creepy.
Very creepy.
I was writing something down. Say that again, Hound Dog.
The Sierra Sounds that Jerry just mentioned on that program, if you have heard them, man, it is very, very creepy.
Is that a documentary? What is that?
You can the Sierra
it's on-
Sounds. You can find it
just
on YouTube.
Google Sierra
internet.
Sounds.
You'll find them. Don't listen to them late at night by yourself.
Yeah, so when Jerry leaves tonight, Steve, you just wait till tomorrow. Wait till tomorrow.
No, time he leaves, I'll be drunk enough to face anything. Right now, I'm pretty sure I might beat Rod up.
There you go. Probably could. I've had a few.
But I'm telling you, that was, I'm like, everybody knows that I'm a skeptic, but that creeped me out when I heard those Sierra Sounds for the first time.
All right. With that being said, so what are the Sierra Sounds? Before I jump to something else, what is that?
In Sierra Nevada, if I'm not mistaken, Jerry,
Yeah, you're right.
they recorded a sound out in the wilderness that it's eerie sounding, for one, and they have not yet been able to identify species that made that sound, or that can make that sound.
And
So-
it was a series of recordings. It was more than just once.
Yeah,
but
it's more
it
than
was
just one. Yeah.
All right. So is it alien based, animal based? What?
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
They think.
That's what they saying.
All right, I'm gonna look
And
that
this-
up on YouTube.
That is very intriguing for a skeptic.
Well, with that being said, that's just what I was getting ready to jump from. I'm sure all you guys heard of Survivor Man, Les Stroud.
Yep.
He done a series on Bigfoot. And what I like about it, he goes in as a middle of the road. He's skeptic. He says, I'm not saying he's there, and I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying I've got some strange things happen to me, and he doesn't play into even whoever he got with him. He don't play into their mindset.
No, he don't.
I like that. But he does a thing in Tennessee, and Jerry and I talked about this, I think during supper, where some guy records babbling, and they think it's Bigfoot, and he has it analyzed. So you have any thoughts on that?
Well, it's ironic that came up, and I don't want to burn my source because I don't have their permission to tell their name or location, but they went to investigate an area within driving distance of here, and they left a recorder going and came back, and they got similar type recordings of what you hear on the Sierra Sounds, and I personally heard those recordings.
Yeah,
Are y'all hearing something in the background?
Well,
Or is it just me?
Rod Nader's got a phone stuck to his ear. Is that the Sarah sounds?
Swallow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what Sierra Sounds was, so I was going to listen to it as I was doing this just to hear him. But
Well, that was good.
That's
You
pretty
have
creepy.
You have to understand also the setting for the Sierra Sounds. These guys were in a remote, hidden camping, a hunting camp.
Oh, did we talk about that earlier?
Yeah, we did. A hunting camp that was you had to get there by horseback.
There's a documentary about that.
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, and what I just heard is nothing remote. Sounds like a damn, like there's a lot of shit out there making noise. Like that was creepy. Creepy as,
Hey,
yeah.
hey,
I
Rod,
just listened to about a minute.
Can you play that again and put it up to the microphone?
Talk. There's a little bit of dead air. Let me pull it back up real quick.
because I watched this documentary, and it was the guy that was talking. You could tell he was dead serious on what was going on.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's an excellent documentary. And what I'm talking about is too, is with what I like about Survivor Man, Les Stroud is like I say he don't placate into the people he's got on the podcast with him.
Right.
I'm sorry,
on the show.
The show. Yeah. Make him on podcast. But this one guy had in Tennessee, you can hear these things babbling, and he had analyzed, and man, it's pretty creepy as well, just like these other sounds.
Yep, it is.
Had analyzed, he said he thought that what it was is it's making a really, you can't understand, it's just gobbledygook to us, but
Like,
you guys
ready?
Yeah,
yeah,
go ahead. Good grief.
Now,
Okay,
Man,
man,
it
sounds-
Lynn,
it sounds
Lynn
like
sleeping
monkeys or something, and you would think it was like monkeys,
it
or
does sound like monkeys.
but they're not anywhere where there's monkeys.
Right.
And
They're
you
the
hear the
Sierra
guy.
Mountains.
I think you hear the guy close by going, every once you hear that human voice, listen to this. That's the guy recording it.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while, I think a guy throws out like a scream just to kind of stir him up, and then you hear more sounds. I think that's what's going on. But yeah, that's in the
you need to watch
that's
it.
in the
This is-
woods. That's dead in the woods, dudes. Like in a deep area where,
Oh yeah.
like,
Man,
there's a
I
lot
would've
of
come
stuff
out-
going on out there.
I would have come out of my tent firing rounds like you wouldn't believe if I heard something like that.
Well,
Did you see the structure that they built? The hunters built to protect themselves because they wanted to keep
Yes.
that going.
Yes.
They made it out of heavy logs, and they would chain themselves in at night
Yep.
with
Saw
this
that.
heavy logging chain.
Why
well, he must really want to go there to have to do all that.
chaining
So
himself?
If
Yeah,
you'll
because
watch
they couldn't get
Missing
to 'em.
411, The Hunted,
Yeah.
in the last fourth of that documentary, he really spends some time. Dave Politis really spends some time on that and talks to the guy that was running the tape recorder during those sessions, and as well as I believe Reg, you'll have to correct me on this, but they had a retired Navy linguist or cryptographer or something like that who
Yeah, they did have a
analyzed-
linguist. They did have a linguist to listen to it. And if I'm not mistaken, because it's been a while since I saw this program, but he had no clue what was going on. He couldn't identify anything, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be up late tonight watching these things, man.
I'm going to watch them again, and I'll call you when I'm scared.
And
Slow could
incidentally,
just open his windows tonight and hear it.
Hey, let me tell you now. Aside,
There's some sounds on Shootout Mountain, but they're all human.
That slow ride shitting everywhere.
Hey, if I heard that outside my window, boy, that's what would happen.
That's slow riding his 12 neighbors.
I'm telling you, I am out on the deck one night, and something, I don't know what it was, let off a terrible, deep rumble shout.
You told me about this when it happened.
Yeah. I think I either text you or called you about it. Whatever.
You called me. Yeah, you called me.
Yeah, and I don't know what it was, but man, it was definitely. Of course, you hear the crickets, you hear the frogs, you hear all these night sounds. As soon as that happened, man, pitch quiet.
Yep.
You hear pin drop after that.
And
When I
that's a
answered the phone,
commonly
it went-
reported type of thing.
And old Slow got up, went inside.
When I answered the phone, it's like, I'm scared. Will you please talk to me for a few minutes?
Do the baby sound. Do the baby sound. Come on. Uh-huh. That was slow. He recorded that.
That was
all
more
himself
like, hey,
that
it's more
night.
like this.
was
when I
a
heard
That was
it.
you that night. That was you that night.
It's more like that.
In conjunction with that.
Yeah. That's as I'm running inside the house. And that was my neighbors.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Good
that we took that to a third grade level real quick, didn't we?
We did.
It was great too.
But that's what we
I
do.
love the sounds. That's awesome.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what we do.
That's what keeps them 3 listeners we got or 3 viewers we got amused.
It's all
3
past their
viewers.
bedtime because they're really young, but yeah. They'll catch it. They'll catch it later.
Yeah. I think the 3 viewers are us.
Oh yeah.
Could be.
So we get on. So Jerry,
And
I
y'all guys
do
got quite all right.
apologize.
So
I do apologize, Jerry, that we kind of took away
our
from your
childlike behavior.
talking to us. Yeah, have childlike
There is
behavior.
no apologies needed.
And
But,
let me say, and in that apology, Jerry, we appreciate you because you took a lot of time out of your day to come here. So hour or so drive here, you got an hour or so drive back home, and and we appreciate. We're not trying to make light of anything you got to say.
Oh, I understand that.
Now Jim Beam and Knob Creek's making a lot of what you're saying, but not us.
Yeah, I'm
It's the
actually
liquor talking.
all this stuff I think ties in. I'm actually very interested in it as a
Well, now,
time
hey,
goes on.
Jerry invited me along with the camping trip that he may be taking in the future. With that being said, Hound Dog, if you guys remember from past audio that we put out, B-Dub was one of our personalities.
Yeah.
The 3 of us are going to go out doing Bigfoot excursion and camping
Yep.
out, but it never come to pass.
Yeah, because you and I moved
We can go.
6 hours away from each other.
And let me say, Hound Dog's idea of roughing it, and he'll back me up, is at the Hilton without cable.
Yeah. No, I
Well,
I
that's
got cable. I can't find a remote to change the TV channel. That's my idea of roughing
That's
it.
roughing it for Hound Dog.
That's roughing it. Yeah.
But you know what? I would
agree.
love to go on a Bigfoot hunt. It might change my mind or my perspective on things. But yeah, whenever you guys want to do it, as long as I don't have to walk no more than like 10 feet off a road, I'm good.
That's another thing B-Dub said, do we have to hike?
Yep.
Well, yeah, they're normally not out, not in the middle of the city or anything.
Yeah,
When
but
you
you see them
hear-
all the time, man. They're crossing the damn road. Set on the road.
You got to ride the roads late at night.
I'm all
With that
about
being
that.
said, we about forgot to say this. We're drinking whatever we want to drink tonight, and you guys named Rodinator's drink. What's the name of your drink, Rodinator?
Dirty ankle.
My drink, the dirty ankle drink.
The dirty ankle.
Yeah.
Dirty
He's
ankle.
drinking the dirty ankle. He's
After
drinking a
the
mixed
dirty
drink.
ankle road. After dirty ankle road, where those old people saw Bigfoot. Yep.
Well, a few
Yep.
more of those, you may see Bigfoot.
That's the dirty ankle. Yeah, I think we should get a pickup truck, right? Because we're in the mountains. Put some people in the back with some chairs, drinking, and just ride the roads late at night till we see one of them big
Well,
bastards, and
we
then
kinda
run him down, and finally put an end to all this. That's what I'm thinking.
We kind of do that when the guys come up here to Shootout Mountain.
Yeah.
You know, I
We
mean,
may
I
or
got a
may not
pickup
be
truck.
DWI. Yeah, we may or may not be DWI on these back roads. We're talking about woods on one side, cliff on the
and
other.
cliff on the other.
My luck,
Yeah.
I'll hit a damn portal and end up in fucking who knows where.
Well, we'll be with you.
You'll end up on Missing 411 Part 4.
Hey,
That's
is this,
exactly right.
Is this Tijuana?
Have you seen this dumbass? He went in the woods running drunk, and he's never been seen again.
Yeah, but you know what?
how
We
many-
need to do that, man. We need to go up to Shootout Mountain.
Okay,
We do.
open invitation, gentlemen.
We do.
We'll
Not
make
only
it
can
one
we do a
Jerry can come as
podcast
well.
all together. Yeah, we can have Jerry. We
The
could all do
four
a
of us.
podcast together at the place. We'll all be in the same studio,
Yeah.
and we could actually go out on and do a live like feed or some shit. That'd be.
Go outside and do some calls.
Hey, that's the great thing about y'all's setup. Y'all can do that. What I've got is home base, man. It's just too much equipment to take, but you guys are plug and play into a little laptop.
Yep.
Yeah, but if we don't have to bring anything with us because we'll be there at your place.
No, I'm saying if you go out on site and do it, you guys could actually do it if you had internet connection. You could do it in the woods,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You
maybe we
said
had-
do
kind
it.
of like the lady with the Bigfoot.
Yeah, let's. He said it.
He
Maybe
said-
That's
we'll
funny,
get
wasn't it?
Bigfoot's password for his Wi-Fi.
It's called his password is twig and berries.
Twig and berries.
You just
Twigs and berries. Twigs and berries. Twigs and berries.
All right, let's go. Let's take it to we're 37 minutes into this podcast. Let's bring it back a little more serious.
All right.
Share some more of your wisdom and some more of your interactions you've had there.
Well, first, let me say that if you want to change your point of view, or you want to feel like you want to go to a different level, you've got to experience something unexplained for yourself. That and I said this, I think, in part one, but it changes your perspective once you're stuck in the seat of, I heard this sound, I saw this thing, and I can't explain it.
Right.
And it starts different gears in your mind turning.
Sure.
And I want to explain things, and I don't claim to have the answers, but I have my own experiences that have propelled me. It can almost be an obsession if you don't discipline yourself.
Well, we've been doing this on the show. We've been trying to, propel our minds forward. Like, how could they be so elusive? Well, it could be a portal, could be alien, could be. Everybody wants the answers, and that's the thing. That's what drives everybody crazy because there haven't been any solid, conclusive answers yet, and it's been for years now. This has been going on forever. Isn't it the abominable snowman the same damn thing, but up in the damn
Himalayas.
mountains? Isn't that what's supposed to be?
Yep.
Yeah.
But now you do
everywhere.
have these scientists, these highly intelligent research people that actually support things and have what they call proof. The foot cast, the hair samples of some unknown primate.
Have you ever heard of Jimmy Chilcutt? He's a retired forensic guy. I think he was with a police department in Texas. I know it was in Texas, but he was asked to look at some casts that were made of some tracks. And by the way, there's been tens of thousands of tracks found over the years. And he said that he went into it with, these guys are so full of malarkey, and I'll disprove what they're saying and be done with these guys, and I'll move on. Well, retired detective Chilcutt became a believer because of one thing that he found in the cast. In these large 14, 16, 18-foot footprint or 18-inch footprints, he found dermal ridges,
Explain what that is.
as in your fingerprint.
Prince.
And your feet, of course, have dermal ridges too. And if you want a really good book to get more into that aspect, get Professor, what's his first name? Meldrum. Jeff Meldrum's book, Sasquatch: Where Legend Meets Science. And he has a section in there on Jimmy Chilcutt's findings. But the tracks, so many tracks have been found in such remote areas. And you have the famous Patterson-Gimlin film that has been poured over more than any video in history to include President Kennedy's assassination.
Right.
And then you have the thousands and thousands of testimonies people have given. And here's the thing with the personal testimonies that have been given. You have to come to a conclusion. All right, everybody's lying, or everybody's mistaken, or a combination of those two things. You have to discount the testimonies of thousands and thousands of people.
I'm sure there are some hoax out there.
There's plenty.
Hoaxers.
There's plenty. And here's my general rule. Here's the people that I listen to the most. The people who are in the woods.
The common Joe.
On a regular basis, the hunters, the fishermen, the campers, the people that live deep in the country.
I'm more
Like
out
you.
to believe the people that are not the hunters. A lot of times, if you go out looking for something, you may what's the word I'm looking for? You may generate
Subliminally.
Yeah, you may generate what you're finding. You hear a hoop or a yell. Oh, that's Bigfoot. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to
you're predisposed.
Yeah.
See, that's like the TV program Finding Bigfoot. Any damn little sounds they hear in the woods is a Bigfoot.
Yeah,
It
go
don't
back
make a
with
shit.
the Survivor Man, Les Stroud. He's with some guy on the mountain, and this guy is, and everybody's skeptical of what he does because everything, like I say, is Bigfoot. You hear that? That's Bigfoot. You hear the crack in the woods? Oh, that's Bigfoot. Now, those people I'm a little more skeptical with, as opposed, it's like you're talking about the elderly people just run down the road and see this on the side of the road.
And go
They're
out
not
of their
looking
way,
for it.
Right.
go out of their way to find someone that they know is doing research on this and talk to them about it.
Yeah, they're not looking for that.
Yeah,
they're not searching for that.
Or Jerry's experience that still sticks in my head with the 14-pound rock being thrown at him. I mean,
And there was more than one
that's-
rock throwing incident.
yeah.
That
14.
night.
I mean, that's a shot put, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like
a
big shot put being. We don't, no humans are throwing that. You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
Right.
And that's from him, the guy sitting right there,
Personal
There you go.
experience.
right there. See that big ass finger, right there. Yeah, that right there. That's believable. Right there. So,
Yeah.
kind of like wow. So
Yeah, and like you say, a human's not throwing that.
no,
A bear's not throwing it.
no.
What in the woods will have the capability to be able, to have your four fingers and opposing thumb?
Rodnator could. No, a gorilla could, but there's no gorillas in the woods out there, right? Gorilla's a pretty powerful thing. So, just little things like that. How do you say? So, if we just stuck with what Jerry said, how do you explain that? What was that? And we have no
can't.
answer.
You can't.
Right.
Yeah, and like Jerry said, we're all three retired cops. How many times we look for a bad guy? He's hiding in plain view inside the city, and it takes us a month or so or longer to find him. And he's right there. He's just been elusive to us.
I ran a guy in the woods, stupid. But I ran a guy in the woods, stopped and like, where did that son of a bitch go? That son of a bitch was right down next to my left foot, right below me in the brush,
Wow.
standing right on him. I smelled him. I'm like, wait a minute. What the hell? Son of a bitch.
up.
Get away your hands. Let me see your hands.
Oh, where's the old spice joke at now, hound dog?
Rod can beat me up. You can't. No, you
Yeah,
can't.
that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, but things can be right. Like we said, how elusive animals are, but still, there's a lot of unexplained things by thousands of people, who aren't making money, and even like Hound Dog said, if we portioned them out, some are crazy, some are in for money, some are, green around, don't know anything about the woods and stuff, but still they all have like a common thread when they explain this shit. And that's the thing that makes it more than just, this is bullshit. There's something that everybody's seeing. They're describing it the same way. A lot of people aren't making money from it. A lot of people, it's one and done and they're out. There's no fame. There's no fortune, but by God, I saw
And
something.
they get ridiculed.
Yeah. How many times are we going to tell people you're crazy? Is that the 1,000th person we're going to say? Is the 10,000th? I don't know how many years this has been going on, but so many people. That's my problem because, when the numbers go up, the believability goes up in my mind.
Well, that's like
Even-
Jerry said a while ago that, the two elderly people that he talked to at the store that day.
She was shaking.
She was shaking. And when you look them dead in the eye, if they're shooting the shit, trying to feed you a line, or saying some kind of total freaking bullshit.
And like Jerry said, they believed, whether it was true or not, they believed they saw that.
Right.
That
Yeah.
they were being honest. You put them on a lie detector, they really
100%
believe they saw
honest.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Whether they're right or wrong, they really believe it. So.
Yep.
And I think Slow touched on this just a little bit earlier, but the majority of the encounters reported were just people who weren't out looking for anything. When I say majority, 99.5% or higher were people who were just riding up the road or enjoying the wilderness, camping, hiking. Maybe they were in the backyard work, and this was a one and done thing. And I like that, Rod, a one and done thing. And that's happened a lot in the South Mountains area. I figure for every person that came and told me a story, there's 20 more that won't tell their story.
See, and think about it. If you have one and done, okay, crazy. But one and done 10,000 times over with 10,000 different people, one and done, that becomes something.
And
There's something
are the
going
ones
on.
that came forward. How many that actually seen something? I ain't saying shit about that.
And along those same lines, Slow, the ones that will say, "Man, I seen something. I ain't saying nothing to no damn body." There's millions of those out there.
Because they don't want to be they don't want to be labeled crazy or conspiracy theorists. That's all this other crap. And they just keep it to themselves. So just think about all those one and dones. Okay, just saw it one time, but when you have thousands of them saying the same thing,
all the hiking, all the camping I've done, I have never come across a bear carcass. I've come across deer skulls and stuff before, but never a bear, never a bobcat, nothing like that. So, but they're out there and they're dying. So what's happened to their carcasses? People always say, well, where's the bodies?
They're burying them.
Where people ain't finding these things. Well, you're not finding anything out there. I watched one video on Forensic Science where they had a dead deer and they staked it down. They put a camera over top of it and just see what happened to it and how long it took to totally.
Saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just a matter of what? A week? It was gone.
Yeah. Days it was gone.
Yeah. It was
down
gone.
to nothing. No bones.
And not only that, but all these people who are seeing this, it's not like they're going out there to find a Bigfoot. They're going out to camp. They're out there fishing. They're out there. They're people from the city going into the woods to stay in a cabin, whatever. And they're seeing these things. It's not like they're going out with the intention of finding it, like Hound Dog was saying. They're not people who go out and every sound they hear or every branch they hear break, it's a Bigfoot. No, they don't think that. They're not expecting that. They're not even there for that. They're there for a vacation. Yeah. They're there for whatever. And then they come back with this freaking story. Right. And they come back with this story. We saw something. I don't know what it was. And I'm not a big woodsman, but damn, that thing was big. And they're believable, especially when that damn lady's hands are, shaking as she's telling the guy the story. They can't hide
the truth. You can't hide the truth. Mm-hmm. Jump in.
How do you feel about somebody that has an encounter and they call law enforcement and make a report? Yeah, that's happened in the South Mountain areas more than once.
All right, so Captain. All right. Reggie takes a report. He goes out to see Jerry. He takes a report. He brings it to me, and I'll bring it to you. Hey, Cap, look at this. Look what Hound Dog report he done. What was your thoughts?
Number one, I'd say good job, Hound Dog, because it's a CYA report. Cover your ass.
No one ever gets in trouble for taking a report. Never.
Paperwork, you never got in trouble. You never ended up in internal affairs with paperwork. Exactly. I say just write it down. But no, hey, listen. If you have a victim or a person reporting something, and they are adamant about it, and they're credible people, they're regular people, and they want to report something. If it's a crime or something, or something that comes in our alleyway, or if it's just a miscellaneous incident, you take the report. I'd say it was a miscellaneous incident, unless there was damage done by this thing, broke a fence or something. It'd be a miscellaneous incident, and that's how we'd table it. But I'll tell you what, we'd probably be happy. I'm not sure we'd put out a bolo for that big boy, but maybe just be careful in this area. There's been a large figure. I don't know how you would do it.
Yeah, but you get a great point. Yeah, you do take the report.
No matter what, you take the report. Because the second you don't, then a Bigfoot shows up and destroys somebody's house on camera, and then
You there? Sorry, everybody froze up on my end.
You guys disappeared for a second.
Let me bump it up one more tier. Let me bump it up one more.
Jerry, before you say that,
look at the body. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Roger.
So before you say that, let me ask you this: you being a magistrate, if somebody came into the magistrate's office, tore all out of the frame.
This lady, the lady that says, "Hey, Bigfoot come and had his way with me in the woods. I like to file a rape report."
Yeah, so she came into your office and said something like that.
I would say,
what would be your reaction?
Detective Hicks at Gastonia PD.
Man, you're crazy.
I'm going to throw the law enforcement under the bus there and say, yeah, you're going to have to go talk to the police because that's felony. I'm going to need them to investigate this.
Well, hey, I got one. Well, I got one for
that was a
bus,
magistrate's answer, that's for sure.
I would put her on the spot and say, how long ago we need to take you to the hospital, get a rape kit done.
Exactly.
See if we can collect swabs of Bigfoot DNA. Let's do this. If you're really that serious, lady, let's get you to the hospital.
We need to collect little
your fingernails, because when Big Boy was there, did you get some fingernail action there on his back? Yep. We got some DNA swabbage going on. Do you got some of his stink still on you? What do we got going on here?
Was it consensual?
Well, yeah.
It was a girls' weekend.
Did you have a couple of Jim Beam white labels? And
they looked like they would be drinking Jim Beam white label.
They did,
if they could afford it.
I could see Bigfoot bringing her like a bouquet of like freaking twigs and berries. Trying to sweet talk her.
Yeah, me love you. Me love you.
Does that mean bend over?
Where's all your hair? Where's all your hair?
Oh, you're all going to hell.
Oh, I know. This went south quick, but.
Here's what I was going to throw at you guys.
Go ahead.
When you take the totality of the body of testimonies that's been given, reports that's been given, there's a tremendous number of reports that come from law enforcement.
That's what I'm saying.
As in the law enforcement officers themselves are the persons reporting. Seeing and hearing the things.
That too.
Yeah.
I've seen that documentary where the cop said, the people called about the cop. You called the cops about them in the backyard. And the cop said he walks out in the backyard and he gets hair back his neck, stand up and stuff. And he said he think it might have been a tree. And I said, well, did you look up? He said, I was scared too.
Yeah. Or the cop driving down the road and see something across the road in front of him that he can't explain.
Mm-hmm. And the cops, you guys are the eyes and ears of the community 24/7.
Mm-hmm. So and there's a little bit more credibility.
Exactly.
With a uniformed officer seeing something like that because he's just out on patrol. There's more of a innocent, like he came upon something he can't explain.
And like Jerry in the military, we're trained observers. We are taught to record height, weight,
not only that, but suspicious activity and something suspicious that's 7-8 feet tall and hairy walking across the road. You want to ask, like, haircut lately, pal? You want to at least look into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in community policing, we got to do these talks. People say, well, what is suspicious? Anything that looks suspicious to you is suspicious. There's a reason you feel it's suspicious.
An 8-foot mop walking across the road with red ass eyeballs. Suspicious.
Yeah.
It smells like the devil. Yeah.
I would call the police for that.
Yeah.
But you are the police.
Yeah, and I would call you because I'm scared.
Then I'd call the captain, who would call the magistrate, who would call you back and say, take a report.
I'd have my feet up on the desk saying, I don't know, Sergeant, handle it.
What's he calling me for? Yeah. If I got to handle it, I don't need you. I've heard that once or twice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, then you call the magistrate, and the magistrate calls Reggie back. Hey, Reggie, take a report.
Okay.
Okay.
Darn it.
Crap runs downhill.
It does.
It really does.
It does.
Wow.
All right, guys, you're not going to believe this.
What's that?
It's that time of night again.
Oh, man.
All right, Jerry, we've had you here for 2 episodes. Go ahead.
I just think we thoroughly covered this. I feel pretty good about these 2 episodes and got a lot of information. I'd like to know one more thing, Jerry, is somewhere somebody can go if they wanted to kind of have the creme de la creme of Bigfoot information and or all the types of evidence out there. If somebody really wanted to look at something that would say, wow, I may believe in this now. Is there something they could go look at on the internet?
Now, it's the sky's the limit. There's so much out there that, like I said earlier, you can be drowning in a sea of information, but you look for some credible names like Dr. Grover Krantz, Peter Byrne, John Green, and I'm leaving people out. Jeff Meldrum, and
Jerry
so on.
Millwood.
Well, I don't know how credible
There you
that
go.
is, but I can assure you.
Well, your credibility has gone down after these two episodes. I don't mind telling you.
Mine's gone down after this episodes, but it's gone up with us, Jerry.
Well, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
yeah.
very much.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I tell you
good stuff.
what,
That's all I want.
It's a good
that's all I wanted to know.
conversation is what we had.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if anybody is into reading, which I'm not very much into reading, but I do have a book, and as a matter of fact, it's kind of weird because I was out on the beach reading a book, and I text Jerry, you need to get this book and read it, because I knew he was into this
Jerry
stuff.
right here?
Yeah. It's this book right here. You can see it.
It's an excellent book.
Give us the
Monsters
name
of the
because it's
Tar
kind of
Heel-
glossy on front of it. What's the name of it?
It is Monsters of the Tar Heel State. All nothing but cryptids
North
from
North Carolina stuff.
Yeah. And actually it talks about Nobby being in there.
Yep.
And
Nobby has appeared in numerous books, as well as documentaries, as well as 2 movies.
Oh, 2 movies? I didn't realize that.
Yeah. 19
Okay.
in the late 70s. R.C. Nanny made a couple of movies loosely based on Nobby, and it was called Nobby the Bellwood Wampus Cat. And I don't know why they called it that, because it doesn't have anything to do with cat, but that's what.
Well,
Or Wampus.
The Wampus cat
Wampus.
is
What
on
is
the
a wampus? What does that mean?
cover of this
Wampus
book.
was a word, an old timer's word,
What's
kind of
your
like booger. The word, people
Yep.
say they saw a booger in the woods, or they saw a wampus in the woods.
I've heard booger in the woods, but I never heard wampus.
Yeah,
That's old
if
school.
y'all ever want us to read this, it's David Weatherly, Monsters of the Tar Heel State, Cryptids and Legends of North Carolina. It's a great book to read.
Hey, and if I may, and I don't know if you don't plug the name yet, if it's copyrighted or not yet, but Jerry here is in the process of writing a book. Am I right?
Yeah, my working title is Fossey Mo, which is another old word in the South Mountain area. Fossey Mo, Wampus, and Nobby, Stories of the South Mountain Cryptids.
Nice.
But that may change. We'll see. I'm slowly getting there.
It may change to
I
a
understand
night
that.
on Bourbon and Badges.
Yeah.
Good.
I think you should put Dirty Ankle
Hey,
in there somewhere.
Dirt Ankle Road.
After Bourbon Badges, I once believed,
Dirty
and then
ankle.
I sobered up. All right, guys, I've got to throw this at you, Hound Dog. Have your mind changed any at all? Believer, non-believer, still skeptic?
Skeptic.
Rod Nader?
I'm still a skeptic, but like I said earlier, might have been on the previous podcast. I'm a skeptic that wants to believe, but I have got to have 100% undeniable evidence and proof.
Well, no, in a civil trial in North Carolina, all you have to have is 51%,
I got to have 100.
and you got to have 100.
Yep. Got to have 100.
I'm more of a, again, I don't know for sure. There's something going on.
Right.
I don't want to go like I'm a skeptic, quite like Hound Dog, because there's something going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying, but there's too many coincidences, too many people with the same story from different backgrounds, different areas, all this other stuff, and it's been going on for too damn long. There's something out there that's giving these people idea, or they see it. Like you said, they honestly think they're seeing this shit. So I'm a believer. There's something going on.
I'm right
But
there
you
with
don't
you,
know
Rod
what.
Nader.
But you don't
yeah, I
know
believe.
what, Rod.
I don't.
I believe they're out there. I do. Now, and it's a double-edged sword for me. I want to see it, but I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
See, I would scare the shit out of me, but I want to see
yeah.
it. I want to
Yeah.
see it. I'd like to see it.
See, here's my deal. I want to see it. I would want to chase it into the woods, but I know that's probably a bad idea. But
Yeah, you'll be pregnant.
I like to. I like to see it if I had
I
my.
want to know what's happening.
We'll be taking some swabs from you too, my friend.
I just don't know, guys. I don't know.
I can see
There's
us out there in the middle of the woods and that happening. Hound Dog said, I'm going after him. You going to be? Let me take another drink of bourbon. Yes.
We'll change Hound Dog's name to Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby.
That's my wife's name too.
A la Deliverance. Bobby.
Yeah, well, he'll come back to the campsite. What happened, Reggie? He said he'd call me.
Suey.
As long as you don't say that.
All right, man.
He's got pretty lips.
Any last
too.
word? Any last words, Jerry?
Let's put it this way: on one side of the extreme is I absolutely will not believe this. On the other side of the extreme is I will believe everything that I hear and that is shown to me on television or the internet. But in the middle, where you're fostering some healthy skepticism along with an openness to accept that we don't know everything.
Well, you might not be, guys. You're on Bourbon and Banks.
Dude.
Yeah.
Man, that was
was nice.
profound.
That's pretty deep, wasn't it?
That was
good.
profound,
Deep.
man.
That was damn good.
You may have
that
changed
might have
this
been a
whole
little bit
show.
above. That might have been a little bit above the pay grade of us and our audience. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, our third grade
Might have
audience.
to be.
We're going to spend the next 3 podcasts dumbing this back down.
We have to. But that was a very
Thank
good.
you for
I like
having
that.
me. I
Man, we're
enjoyed
glad
it.
like
you're
Oh,
here.
man, it was awesome.
It's
Liked
been
it a lot.
fun.
Thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate
And
you.
I think the world of you guys. I always have. And Rodinator, I
Yes,
just
sir.
met you, but I think the world of you too. I can tell you are a stand-up guy. And
He
I
thank you
appreciate
for
it,
having
man.
me again.
I appreciate it, man.
He
Thank
is
you,
a
Jerry.
stand-up guy.
Oh,
Thanks,
I've got
sir.
the intel on him. He's a stand-up.
All right, guys. But hey, we didn't say it on the last show, but we're on YouTube now, so be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. There is some type of, I can't think of the word that they put for it, but if you hit the subscribe button and the like button, it sends out more where people see us more. It puts it in the limelight more. I don't know the right words for that. I'll learn it from watching YouTube. But please like and subscribe. If you don't like it, still like and subscribe, please. Anything else, guys?
Enjoyed it, man. This is one of my funner ones, man. I had a good time with this
Man,
this subject.
Yeah, same here.
You know,
Thank you.
Well,
this
this is the
last
time
hour
to reach
went
out and
by
beg.
really
We
quick.
also, it does. It goes by so quickly.
Yep.
Please hit that donation button, like and subscribe, man. Please put something in the narratives. We read that. Try to read those daily, if not every other day, and we'll get back with you. Love your input. If you want to see something you want us to talk about, a bourbon you want us to try, whatever you like, put it in the comments, and we will certainly answer anything you ask us, and we'll address anything you want us to address, law enforcement wise, Bigfoot wise, whatever it is.
Yep. No subject is off limits.
That's correct. And we'd like special thanks to Black Rifle Trading Group, Law Enforcement Today at lawenforcementtoday.com, Boone's Bourbon.
Drink it.
Boone's bourbon.
Yes.
For God's sakes, Boone's Bourbon.
Yeah, have some Boone's Bourbon and support Sleep in Heavenly Peace. It's a great organization.
Good cause. Good cause.
Yep.
Jerry, thanks for being here, brother.
Thank you.
Jerry, take care, brother.
Yes, sir. You too, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Hey, let's drink about it and drink responsibly.
Peace.
Hey,
All
and
you
Hound
first
Dog,
responders out there, please be careful.
Hound
Yes.
Dog, what's this been?
This has been a Studio 77 production.
Ah.